Welcome to Daybreak Interactive, where we get you involved in the conversation. We'd love to hear your thoughts, your views, your suggestions, your recommendations on today's talking point. And like I did say before the break, we're going to talk about what the federal government says has been a success so far, because according to the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun said 4.3 million Nigerians have received direct cash transfers from the federal government. Remember, as part of their efforts to ameliorate the pains of Nigerians over the past few months, the federal government has announced at different points in time how they're going to disburse certain funds to households. This one was recently announced, and the 50,000 naira cash disbursement, according to the finance minister, has impacted the lives of 4.3 million Nigerians. And this is all supposed to address the inflation in the country, as well as the economic hardship that most Nigerians have continued to face. So we ask you a simple question. If you're one of those beneficiaries, we would love to talk to you about that. Plus, if you think that is enough to actually make a difference, especially considering where we are coming from right now with the nationwide protests really shedding light on how bad things are currently. Let's have a conversation on this one. 50,000 naira direct cash transfer to 4.3 million Nigerians, according to the Minister of Finance. Were you a beneficiary? Do you know someone who benefited from this conditional cash transfer of the Tinubu administration, all part of its effort to address the wants and needs of Nigerians, especially in the short term, because of food prices, because of transportation costs, because of the cost of living in the most populous black nation in the world? Let's get the conversation on the way. If I could just start, I don't know anybody who got it. I don't know about you, Sunday.
4.3 million is bigger than the size of the civil service of most states, and you want to think that that kind of number, that would be, the National Stadium in Abuja is about 60,000 capacity. That would be in hundreds of, you have people fill that stadium capacity in multiples of hundreds, to properly contextualize the beneficiary. So it's always difficult, every time the government reels out this number, and you're not expecting to get that, and you cannot think of anybody in your cycle, down to your extended family who knows somebody who had benefited.
But you also look at the scale of the problem, right? And the scale of the solution. 4.3 million out of
100 million,
give or take 80 to 100 million people that are living below the poverty line. That is not going to make a difference at all. Let's speak to our first caller who's just joined the conversation. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to the program. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Good morning. My name is Peter. I'm calling from Enugu.
Peter from Enugu. How is Enugu this morning?
Enugu is fine.
Enugu is fine. Peter, can you please lower the volume of your TV set and have a direct conversation with us?
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Actually, in this aspect, the president actually tried. Okay. I know people who received the 50,000 naira that president sent. So to be sincere, Tinubu actually, he tried in that aspect. And I want to give kudos to him and his government. At least another way of trying to help the less privileged Nigerians. Thank you.
Peter, before you go, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm
those people who did they share with you how they became qualified for this money? What did they exactly do? And do you think, in your own estimation, that there were people who deserved it, or it should have gone to people who were more indigent?
Yeah. What they did was that a friend called them and asked them to send the number. They didn't do anything. They didn't pay anything. They just said they should send some names. They should just look for people within our localities. Just my village. Then they now look for aged people. There are people that have account number. So, and their BVN is correct. the main criteria there is if your VVN is not correct, you won't receive. But if it is correct, you get the money. So people that got the money are people that their VVN is correct.
Okay.
Peter,
thank you so much for that information. Really appreciate you for calling.
Feedback.
Do have a good day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So glass half full, half empty. The half full part is that actually people who need it are possibly getting it. But the half empty part is the process itself. It's not one that is built to function without the interference. So for instance, if those people don't know somebody who is in a position to actually get their names, they probably wouldn't get it. And there are more people that don't know somebody in this country that are not going to get
in this case,
this intervention.
We got people who were a bit sincere that reached out to the village and said, give us people with ABC and XYZ criteria. For others, they could just front load their family members' name and whose BVN are correct, and then you just get this money disbursed to them. So, it brings us back to the question of that register. That which fidelity some state governors have had to question, and the need for the updating that had not happened for a very long time. We need to build something very credible on which to act on whenever these kind of interventions would need to take place. We have another caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, my name is Dennis Tom. I'm calling from Abuja.
I didn't get the first name, please.
Okay, Dennis Tom.
Dennis Hong. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. It's actually with a heavy heart that I'm speaking. I'm only speaking this morning. Because Nigeria is a great nation. God bless us so much with so much, and the issue that what we are currently going now. I listened to the previous
caller.
I want to commend him for that, but because his people want it. Somebody who he knows, but the fact of millions of Nigerians who never got this opportunity. Are we supposed to be thinking about 50,000 naira? Are we? No. That is not what Nigeria is right now. How did we got here? How did we got here as a nation where we be sharing 50,000 naira to the citizens of this country? Does that solve the problem at which is at hand? No, sir. Let's be very honest. I want to commend tinubu for that. This is actually too bad or too outrageous here. But that does not solve the problem at hand. Let's be honest. Let's talk about the table. How long will we continue in that capacity? The removal of the stress subsidy is actually bringing us this problem. Should we continue sharing money? Or should we do what we should do so that the citizens of this country will continue to benefit from what we have? I've listened to so many callers for the previous days talking about subsidy removal. Yesterday, I listened to her late night with other domain, and they spoke. In his mind, but the problem is, how many people are out there languishing in poverty?
Yeah, I think Dennis. Yeah, Dennis, I think you've drawn our attention to quite a good number of issues there, so we can make room for others to contribute. I think we're going to leave it there for now. Of course, plus that network connectivity sometimes can be quite tricky, but we get the point that Dennis just made regarding the scaling. I think that is at the heart of the problem. The scale is all that really matters. How many people have been impacted? How many more are left on the sidelines waiting for something to happen? Because you consider if the data shared by the finance minister is actually accurate, you realize that it's nothing to celebrate, because there are 10 times more people that have not gotten that intervention that are in dire need of something much more than just 50,000. And people keep saying, listen, whatever happens, whether it's inflation, share rice to people, whether it's insecurity, share more rice to people, whether it's unemployment, share rice to people, whether it's economic instability, share more rice to people. Nationwide protests, guess what? The solution, share rice to people. So yeah, it's about the way we've been going about this issue for a very long time, and I think that is what Dennis is alluding to in his assessment. Let's speak to our next caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the program. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Yeah, I'm calling from Bida, Niger. My name is MD.
You're calling from Bida. I didn't get the name. And please turn down the volume of your TV set because I can hear that interference. Hello? Okay. Rules of engagement. We keep saying that over and over again. Please move away from the TV set or just put it on mute so we can have a direct conversation via the phone. That way, you can hear us, we can hear you, and the viewers don't get to hear a somewhat distorted version of our interaction. Let's speak to our next caller.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to Daybreak Interactive. Your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Kingsley. I'm calling from Ebonyi State, Abakaliki.
Okay, Kingsley from Abakaliki in Ebonyi State. Good morning to you. Go ahead, please. Have you benefited or do you know someone who has benefited from this intervention?
Well, I have not benefited anything. In fact, I see that in as a scam. Because I see them helping all these Yahoo boys to scam people the more. They will tell you, apply on this, apply. All I'm trying to say, the best thing that federal government can do is to remove oil subsidy. Fuel subsidy is the best. Because the area they are going, if they want, people want to do it, they can go through CBN. They have the BPN account number of everybody in Nigeria. They can go through that.
Mr. Kingsley, if
Yes,
I may, please, are you saying remove fuel subsidy or restore fuel subsidy? Because I know the fuel subsidy.
Let federal government they remove fuel subsidy. That's what we are suffering. Let them bring back the fuel subsidy.
Okay.
Let them bring back the fuel subsidy so that everyone, both the one in the village, both farmers, everybody can benefit from that money. Let them gather the money, put it in the oil, then everybody can benefit. They are helping Yahoo boys to even scam people the more. They will tell you, apply on this, apply on this. People, I've seen many people that have scammed. So they are not, federal government are not telling the same truth. They know the right thing to do. God bless you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Kingsley, for that take. And I think it stands to be true, that particular point, that there are some people out of desperation would click on any link trying to access some of these funds. And like he said, the scammers know how to tease you, make you believe that you're just a few steps away from accessing this 50,000 naira grant that the federal government is only for the site to take you to places where you put your details and before you know it, you get scammed out of the little resources you have available to you. Let's switch gears now and take a look at what's happening on our WhatsApp page because some people are joining the conversation. This one from Ahmed, who says, Morning Trust TV, I didn't see any direct cash transfer and we applied from Niger State. If that is you, Ahmed, in your profile picture, I don't think you need the 50,000. But if it's just another picture, then I understand.
I mean, speaking about people who need it, I got a text message a fortnight ago from somebody who said, congratulations, you have been nominated for the president's whatever cash transfer. Send your details to XYZ. I just thought to myself that whoever picked me picked the wrong person, not necessarily because I was doing very well. I thought there are tons of people who deserve, including my mother. You know, so it couldn't have been me. Whatever criteria was used was faulty. I mean, just speaking to that, but I know that those were the handiworks of fraudsters.
Exactly.
All right.
Do we have more from WhatsApp? Okay, I think we do. This one says you cannot have. This one is from Facebook. I beg your pardon. You cannot have a good government of you. Okay, if you elect bad people, I think that's what he's trying to say, from Muhammad Yahuza. He actually doubled down on that to say delivery of government policies and implementation of projects cannot be done with an inefficient, ineffective, and hopelessly incompetent civil service. Okay, I don't know how he arrived at that, but he also went further to say any government that intended to implement programs that would impact on the people must reform the civil service in earnest.
That's what big
some
question
point
really.
there.
Yeah, a very big one. I mean, every government, that comes off as effective is simply a function of the civil service. In our case, I mean, we all know too well, the state of our civil service. Kabiru Idris is saying, when did they start the transaction? Some things are just scam, pure lie, and they think they are deceiving us, even though even the so-called food palliative is nowhere to be found. We don't need their money or food. We just want things to be easy for us. And I think it speaks to
this beggarly approach, right? I know that safety nets are important because not all fingers are not equal.
That's right.
And this is, perhaps one of the things that we as Nigerians need to really come to terms with, that while it is important for the government to intervene, the intervention in this manner for such a very long time just signposts that things are not working. Whatever it is that we're trying to achieve with all of these interventions, these are all short-term problems or short-term solutions that cannot hold if we're going to address the issue of poverty, unemployment, and all of that in the long run. So, yeah, I understand why people think it's a scam, people think it's a lie. You have state governors that are also misleading members of the public about what the federal government is giving them directly. I mean, we're hearing about state governments rebagging some of those 25 kg bags that were sent. This one just coming in says, good morning. John Gindiri from Jos says, the masses are hungry. The president should do something. I'm appealing to Mr. President to please pay NPAR beneficiaries the 8 months. I think he's saying the allowances or entitlements.
That's a completely new dimension,
Yeah. So that's also part of the problem. I also heard that claims by contractors and things like that, people whose works usually impact the economy in one way or the other because of their productivity, is also, somewhere stuck within the red tape of bureaucracy. And contractors are not particularly happy right now, especially those who have some claims that they need to be cleared.
That's right.
Because the government has, I think, is kind of like centralizing
the government
the payment or
in
something
its
like that.
way, shooting itself on the foot, because what's happening is that you get these people to invest their funds in pushing the work. They get to a level and take a break, hoping that you pay so that the work can continue. So as long as you keep holding on to that payment, you basically just stall their capacity to get those works going and continue to put food on the table of those who work for them. And the simple explanation for this is it was awarded by our predecessors. We are evaluating, we are reviewing, and we know what that means basically in Nigeria. Whenever they put up those arguments, it's basically saying whatever pegs are tied around this project that you gave to the other people, you've got to settle us before we free up funds to enable you to continue. So it's about people wanting to use the system to advance their own costs rather than advancing the costs.
I do hope to God that this is not what's happening, because it's just more bad omens for the Tinubu administration. And one thing is, we cannot continue to think about it from a political standpoint. We have to think about it from the impact it is having socioeconomically on the well-being of over 200 million people. There's this collective sense of depression that you're getting. There's so much so that there are a lot of people, Sunday Michael, where a year ago, you can't give them 50,000 naira intervention. But now, they're eager, they're begging for as little as 50,000 naira, even with all the inflation that we have right now in the country. Back to our Facebook page. Citizen Yonda from Abuja, that's his name, or that's her name, says, I didn't witness anyone with such allocation. Maybe it was he and his family that has received the 50,000 and shared the money to themselves. Tinubu, you had good intention towards us, but the people around you are... Okay. I can't say that. Let's be civil. I know people are angry, people are frustrated, but these are words you cannot just throw around without any sort of evidence, right? But also, do you get a sense that more often than not, the people around the president get blamed, even though he said the buck stops at his table?
We all know how governance works. I mean, how many issues can you really attend to as a president if people around you do not synthesize, you know, and help you, you know, organize some of this information in a manner that whatever you are saying becomes, you know, a more enlightened perspective to the issues, which helps you also arrive at a decision quickly. But you know, our thinking really is that it does appear that those persons who speak with the president may not be communicating what reflects the feelings of Nigeria. Right. Moving on to let us take more messages from our WhatsApp channel. This is saying, the truth is, I and my friends applied, but nothing was given. We even got messages to go to the local government to do capturing. But this morning, nothing. They just diverted the funds to their personal account. Well, this is John from Utuku in Benue State. We're not sure whether a diversion happened in your case or the money is still...
you didn't get it, which is a fact, but the other one, we're going to have to leave it there for now. Okay. Another one just came in saying, the conditional cash transfer is wrongly processed because it never comes consistently, only once received by many, and never gets to the real target of vulnerable Nigerians. There are lots of biases favoring other regions than others. He's talking about equity here. This is because it was not online. They follow social register, which is just a scam, according to this person. And it's not 50,000, it's 25,000 monthly for 3 months, and that is how it was told. I think we're talking about two different interventions.
Possibly two different approaches.
The first one was the 25K for 3 months. I think this one was announced much recently, some 3 or 4 weeks ago, or a little over that.
There are just too many of them going on simultaneously.
Exactly.
I mean, you're just not sure what exactly.
Just mistake one for the other. As for the 50K, it was called federal government grant for nano businesses. This was applied only online, but not well handled. For over 7 months, many people who applied did not get it. It was distributed in a sprinkling manner that few people received every month. They should have released names of those who qualified to receive them and give them something more than 50,000 to assist their businesses. In conclusion, either way, it is not the solution to this current problem. Government can bring back NPower program or something of that nature, where unemployed graduates can be employed and paid a stipend to empower themselves. Sayed Diali sent in this well-articulated message. Thank you so much for that well-articulated contribution.
All right, we have more of those coming in. Good morning, my presenters. My name is Udi Best, writing you from Cross River State, Calabar. Today is day 3 of the protest, and the president has not come out to address. I think this is an old message.
Okay. It cannot be day 3. I don't know if he's living in a parallel universe, but we stopped counting the protest because it has lost its momentum. But if we were counting, this would actually make it day 8.
Actually,
yeah. So if we were counting, so you're 5 days short of making it quite an impactful one. But if just in case he probably just a typo there, he said he advised. Okay, he's basically talking about the protest. So I think he's talking about something entirely different. We are talking about the distribution of the conditional cash transfer, the cash transfer that the finance minister said has impacted 4.3 million people. So thank you, Udi Best, for joining the conversation either way. Good morning. I have not received any cash from the government. I think if you don't know anyone, you will not get it. look at the first caller saying that someone asked them to write their name. It means he knows someone in government. Yes, we did point that out. That sometimes it's good to know people in government, but it shouldn't be so. It should be based on, certain parameters that can easily qualify someone who knows nobody within the system, but it is deserving, that is in need of this intervention, and that is the most important part of the equation. But that is where we're going to leave it here for today. Thank you most kindly for all those contributions, for the messages on this particular issue. We hope to come your way yet again with another opportunity to talk about an even more topical issue on Daybreak Interactive.